Hey, Monday morning here. Glad you're with us here with Longshore, and I think McKnight's here. I see him in the group.
I'm here.
Yeah, starting a brand new week here. So glad you're with us. Beautiful day. Hope you had a great weekend, and we were ready to get things rolling here.
I had a great weekend. I've changed my camera around a little bit, so now I'm super large, but it was good. It was not a good weekend for Troy baseball. They lose 2 out of 3 over the weekend, but it was another great weekend for the Atlanta Braves. I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Well, tell me about it. This is actually the first I've heard of it. Monday at 7:01 a.m. Yep. So, tell me what happened. Nobody else is talking about it.
You mean in the room with you right now at 7 o'clock in the morning at your house? Yeah.
Well, I was with a bunch of people last night. Nobody brought it up.
I think that's why you chose to be with those people. I think that's why those people are your friends.
Yeah.
John. The Braves beat the Rockies 11-6 in Colorado.
Yeah.
They sweep the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
They are 15-3 in their last 18 games. They are off. They're 35 games in. They are off to their best 35-game start to a season in the modern era. That's since 1900. That's 125 years. Best start for the Braves in 125 years. In other words,
hold on. They've only been in Atlanta since 1966. Don't give me Boston and Milwaukee. That doesn't count.
That's the Braves franchise. You know, they count all those home runs that Hank Aaron hit when he was with Milwaukee. Goodness.
So wait a minute, 125. I'm writing this down. Okay. All right. Boom. So when we get to late August, early September, what about that best start in 125 years? How's that going today? Just writing all this down, just biding my time because I know it's coming. So just bring them on.
That is
a whole
later.
Ad.
That is later.
Uh-huh.
If you can't appreciate the here and now,
no.
I don't know what to tell you. If you can't appreciate what's happening at the moment, then, man, you're missing out. You are missing out. That's all I've got to say.
I just hate disappointment as has happened so many times. And I see the chat board over here, the River Draw chat line. I mean, I see the giddiness, but it's all about who hoists the trophy. Perfect example is, the Braves won over 100 games in the regular season. So, where are they now? Well, I know, but they did win 100 games.
So we're talking about where are they now? Where are they now?
Yeah.
Is off to the best start they've had in 125 years. That's where are they.
Are they going to
now
raise a flag at Truist Park? Best start in 125 years. Probably. Knowing them, they probably will. But
John is against flag raising.
Most people that stuff just and are we talking about the lowly 14-21 Colorado Rockies? Huh.
There are no asterisks on your wins. It's like, but we feel bad about it.
Yeah. When do they play the Giants, who are one game behind the Rockies? I'm sure they're probably half a game actually. I'm sure they're probably next for the Braves.
Best start, 125 years. And what John focuses on is, man, when this is all over in November or wherever, which I cannot wait for.
Yeah, me either.
That's what John is saying right now. Then until then, it doesn't really matter. What's going on right now. In 5 years, I'll be the king of America. Right now, I'm not, but in 5 years, right now, I'm sitting here toiling away at a sandwich shop making, double ham sandwiches. But you watch, in 5 years, man, I'm going to be something. I'm here to tell you. I like it. I like that approach.
Feasting on the bottom feeders. I'm looking at a ESPN poll that I didn't want to get into immediately, but I guess we can. of Major League Baseball programs, and they give them a grade. And of course, they give the Braves an A+. They don't mention anything about how weak their opposition has been.
Of course they don't, because it doesn't matter. Results matter.
Why did they come up with this poll? Why are they rating these teams? These
for people like you to put on talk shows and to say, hey, wow, we're doing pretty good, I think. Look at us.
All these teams, and I'm thinking, no wonder they got such a good. There again, when they start playing the Dodgers and the Padres and the Cubs and some of these other teams, then I'll start paying a little bit more attention. But all this little dancing through the tulips or whatever that song was, tiptoe through the tulips, is as they're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Then we'll get to the meat of it. But the thing is, and Bob, stay with us. I know. Stay with us, Bob. I know this isn't what you wanted, but it's that time of year. But just please pace yourself. I do not want the heartache, the disappointment
that is coming.
The egoisms of everybody with their shoulders shrugged and their head down. Well, I knew it. Here we go again.
Yeah. Barry, this is from Coach Ed. Barry, is this the same guy that said Nate Oates deserved a raise? Has he gone to the NCAA tournament 5 or 6 times? Has Nate won a natty? I don't know. I don't understand the inconsistency myself, Coach Ed.
Yeah. When did I ever say deserved a raise?
Whenever he got the raise.
And I didn't say that. I said I don't have a problem with him getting a raise. I didn't say he deserved it. It's like DeBoer. I don't think DeBoer deserves a raise.
In the spirit of the program, I will move along there, but that is an interesting question. I wonder myself, but it's not about what you're doing right.
As a Alabama basketball coach, I don't know if any other coach has had as successful a run as Nate Oates has had.
But yeah, he hasn't hoisted anything. I mean, it was their heartache when the season ended.
Had they hoisted anything before he got there? I mean, based on what their history is, he's the best they've ever had. Nobody said anything about a trophy. Now, that's what I hear out of Braves fans.
Out of Braves fans, that's what
every year. And what happened?
That's how it. That's how the conversation turned in that direction. It's the.
At least the Braves have. I think they've won 2 titles. You think they've won 20?
And John from Wetumpka says, John, you blasted the Braves when they won the World Series. So that's I realize this is a.
That
this
is not true. I was at one of their victories, John. I was there. I wasn't cheering and clapping and hugging every other Braves fan around me. I said, "Come on, let's get the hell out of here.
Right.
I've seen enough." I mean, but I was one of the few people that actually saw them win a World Series in person. I don't have a problem with that. Got in free. I didn't pay for the ticket. I mean, somebody took me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine actually paying to go watch that. But
if you are watching us here and now, that is what we are talking about. You know, if your favorite football team is 6-0, 7-0 to start the season, then we are, and when that happens in the fall, we are there to talk about it. We're not sitting there saying, yeah, go ahead and be happy. You're not going to win the natty. I just don't want you to have the heartache.
Well, here's the problem. When the Braves aren't in this position, nobody talks about them. That has been my problem forever. Mm-hmm. Braves fans jump on the bandwagon just like they did in 92 when everybody had no clue who the Atlanta Braves were, what they were doing, who was on their roster. 3,000 people maybe show up if they're giving something away. And when they're going through a slump, you don't hear anything about it. Now everybody's coming out of the woodwork. I've always been a Braves fan. Love them. Oh, they're the best. That's my point. Because when we get to late August and September and they've tanked, where are all these people going to be? I know exactly where they're going to be. MIA. Like it never happened. But I've lived through this for years. I know what's coming.
He's ignored it for years.
Just be
as best
giddy.
he can.
Enjoy yourself. I get it. I just don't like to see the heartache. in the late summer.
Yeah, he likes to see it right now. Come on, guys. You're not going to. He hates to wait until the end of the summer when it happens. Why not get a head start on it before everybody else does?
I actually like it because I love how everybody gets all whipped up in a lather and they're all excited and giddy and blah, blah, blah. And then, what was it, last year, 2 years ago, the bottom fell out? I mean, it was just like, boom. I couldn't get to the station quick enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he was there actually 6-7 minutes early. It was unbelievable. Man.
Hey, speaking of baseball, though, Barry, I will say, how about those Auburn Tigers? After being swept by the lowly Crimson Tide earlier this season, they've reeled off a lot of series wins.
They've done well for themselves.
How about that?
Yeah, there's a couple of things
all
about
these
baseball.
People that wanted to get rid of the hitting coach and complaining about the head coach over at Auburn. Look at what he's done now.
Yeah. John says, how about a little patience?
Yeah.
Come on. You'll probably tank it at the end of the season. You're not winning a natty or anything, but hey, all right.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So then the whole thing obviously is an absolute waste of time, but have a good time with it.
Yeah. Hey, right at least now, give them a little, at least a good job of getting yourself up off the ground. Way to go.
Yes, there we go. Auburn loses yesterday to Texas A&M, who is number 7 in the country, but they win the series in College Station. They have beaten in series play back-to-back number 25 Florida, the defending national champions, in Gainesville. They beat number 14 Oklahoma in Auburn, and they beat
Florida baseball won the national championship. How did I miss that? Wait a minute.
Because you don't care. That's usually how that kind of stuff happens.
They went to Omaha and wow.
They beat Oklahoma 2 out of 3 in Auburn, and this past weekend against number 7 Texas A&M, Auburn wins that series down in College Station. Now they've got Mississippi State, who's number 9 in the nation. They're in Starkville this weekend, and then they close at home against number 5 Georgia in the oldest continuous rivalry in the Deep South.
Oh, does that include baseball as well?
Why not? I say yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
they'll name something at that baseball stadium. Maybe, the oldest continuous rivalry corner or third baseline or whatever, or VIP corner, whatever they do over there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So since that being swept by Alabama, I don't think they're even in the top 25.
They are, but just barely. By the way, Alabama comes to Troy tomorrow night. Take on the Trojans at Riddle Pace Field. Crimson Tide, in case you're wondering, I know we didn't exactly hit up on them, but by the way, since the Alabama game, they've also played Arkansas, won that series at Plainsman Park, and won the series against Kentucky. So Auburn is off and rolling right now. Meanwhile, for the Crimson Tide, they did get the sweep.
Did they?
They did against Vanderbilt in Tuscaloosa. All pretty tight games, 5-4, 5-0, and 8-5 on Saturday. They played Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. They come to Troy.
Vandy's not the Vandy they used to be. They used to be really good in baseball.
They're okay. They're really young. Troy played Vanderbilt up there in Nashville early March. I did the show from Nashville that morning. And they're really young. They got a couple of good older players. But they've got a couple of really good freshmen. They're going to be good in a little while. Maybe next year. But yeah, Alabama wins. They beat Vanderbilt, sweep that series. Crimson Tide, after losing the series at Tennessee, and then losing the series the week before at Texas, and then getting swept in Tuscaloosa the week before that against Arkansas. They're hanging in there. They're doing all right, I suppose. Right now, Alabama, it's not bad. They are 13-11 in the league, a game behind Auburn at 14-10, who's tied with Mississippi State for 4th in the league. So there's our baseball fix today.
Well, well, no, we can continue to talk about it. Somebody actually also, believe it or not, sent me the seedings for the women's softball tournament that's coming up.
There you go. You guys, good job, guys.
Is it this week? I think maybe it is. I don't know.
Auburn baseball. Yeah. Ooh, man. Ooh. Hey, John, how about the Lady Aubs in the SEC tournament? Because
nobody said anything about
that is where we're going.
Nobody said anything about a 1:00 game Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday. Nobody said anything about that
until now. Yes, that's true.
But I did, and as I saw that, actually, just for the record, nobody actually sent me that. I think I saw it at Auburn Undercover. They had the.
I was about to say there is no way that you looked that up. No,
it was at Auburn Undercover, and it piqued my interest, and I clicked it. I was thinking about Phillip, and I went, "Whoa, ooh, 1:00 on a Wednesday? Oh man, he would. Oh, how would he spin this? How have they fallen so far so fast?" But I did see that the softball tournament is about to begin, which I got to tell you, little postseason lady softball. It can be entertaining. It's faster. The games don't last as long. Yep. There's not as much dilly-dallying around. They get out there and play. Now, I could do without the cheerleading from the dugout. I have to put it on mute because I just can't listen to all that. I wish they could tone that down, but they're not. They're not.
SEC women's tournament gets underway tomorrow in Lexington, Kentucky. Auburn is the number 14 seed. I guess there are 16 teams in the SEC. A couple of them don't play softball.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt and somebody else. But Auburn is the lowest seed. They're number 14. They take on number 11, Missouri, at noon tomorrow to get that started. Alabama,
Baltimore.
Do what?
Is this correct from Bill from Baltimore? Auburn lost 25-0 to LSU in softball? No way. Isn't there a 10-run rule? Come on.
Well, there's a 10-run rule unless you score like 25 in an inning or something like that. Ooh. Alabama comes in as the number 2 seed. They don't play until Thursday. So, I tell you what, since John brings it up, hey, Barry, is that true? I'll fall for it again. Hey, Barry, can you look this up? It's not as though, John, there's no way, Bill from Baltimore, that could be true. Let me check that out. No, there ain't any sort of moral imperative. I better look at that. It's like, hey, Barry, is this true? Why don't you go take it out? Auburn softball is very bad this year. Very bad. And that's a shame.
Also, Barry, as you just mentioned that Alabama was a 2 seed. Who's the 1 seed? I mean, geez. But if there's a 2 seed, if they're not in the championship game, then they got some problems. I mean, don't be a 2 seed and get put out early. And they get ready for the bigger tournament. That's what will. You got to show out.
At Jane B. Moore Field in late April, that was actually not last week, but the week before. Auburn loses in. Let me make sure I have this right. No, it was this weekend. Yikes. It was this weekend in Baton Rouge. Yeah. Auburn loses to LSU 3-0.
Okay.
And then they lose this past Saturday 25-0.
Ooh.
And then they lose 7-0 in the finale. 25-0. That is true. Appreciate you, Bill from Baltimore. I wasn't necessarily
I would
on that.
I'd like to see the box score for that game. And I'm a little disappointed. I don't see anything, recruiting, women's tennis, Terry Bowden's podcast. No softball coverage.
LSU scored 8 in the first. They were held scoreless in the second.
Hey.
They scored 7 in the third.
Okay.
to lead 15-0 after 3. And then in the fourth, they scored 10. And so that only lasted 5 innings. And there you go. Now John can go to break. Now that we got something in there. Braves, Auburn baseball doing well. Can we needle the Aubs one time before
schools in this league are dropping sports. If they don't get any better, it might be dropping that one. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It is a Monday here on the program. A lot to recap from the weekend, a lot to look forward to as well. Also, this time of year, we do something that we call buy, sell, or hold. And we look at all of the 16 SEC football programs and kind of look at it as if you were making an investment. And how are your investments paying off? And where do you stand today leading into the fall for the 2026 football season that'll start up here in a couple of months? We'll get that going a little later in the program as well.
It's Longshore and McKnight, our Monday show. We're into May. It's all brought to you in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. 22 minutes past the hour here on this Monday. So glad you're with us here. A lot going on in the world of sports. We're going to talk with you about it. Hey, congratulations to Alabama native Stuart Sink. He won the Regions Tradition up in Birmingham over the weekend. Got a bike. You know, Regions has those green bikes you see on their advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a big winner there and got the bike. I know he loves that. But that's kind of nice having a Alabama native win that event. And I didn't watch a lot of that because I was watching the Cadillac Championship from down at Trump National at Doral, the old Blue Monster is what it used to be, or probably still is to older people. Cameron Young, this guy, I've never seen a guy hit a golf ball like he can. He drove like 2 par 4s on the backside as I was watching some of that tournament yesterday. 19 under, just blistering it yesterday down there at Doral. Scotty, the world number 1, just couldn't catch him, finished 6 shots back. But this Cameron Young, he popped on the scene at Augusta, saw him a little bit before then. And it's you know, everybody's got their own unique golf swing. You know, it's hard to duplicate or try to imitate somebody else's. Believe you me, I've tried. It doesn't work. But this guy almost comes to a complete stop when he gets the club to the top of his backswing, but he can generate so much power. And they put some computer graphic kind of, I guess if you see these guys that wear these suits and they have all the dots on them, I guess when they do green screen stuff in Hollywood or whatnot, it was similar to that. Kind of and these dots were all over, but just showing how how he can, his back and how much torque he produces with his backswing and being able to turn his body as far as he can, which of course generates all the power. It was pretty amazing. This guy can just bomb it. And a guy like Scheffler, it was one of the holes. It was a par 4, 340, something like that, all over water. And Cameron Young, hits the green and the commentators are going crazy, and Scheffler hits it the front bunker. I'm thinking, wait a minute, Scheffler can't hit it that far? Okay, maybe he caught it on the heel. Who knows? But this guy can play. So I'm sure Range Pro is already very aware of his skills. And another thing, I was kind of surprised that Jim Nantz and all these guys, I guess they've kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't mean they're not as concerned about it anymore, but they certainly let it know, hey, they're playing at President Trump's golf course. Most commentators just avoid saying that, just say, hey, we're at Doral. But I did notice they mentioned Trump's name quite a bit as they were talking about the course where the tournament was being held yesterday.
Well, he is the president,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Some people don't seem to care to mention it, but that's their cup of tea, I guess.
Well, yeah, we all, some people care about the Braves. Some people care about Cameron Young's backswing. It's, 33 flavors. Here we go. Cameron Young, he's not like a monster. He ain't like 6'5", 230 or anything. He's not like
kind of short.
Yeah. So how do you do that? People like that drive me crazy. Especially, skinny kids, like Matthew Swan, somebody like that. Some kid, he's 15 out there. He's maybe 6'2", weighs about $150, and he comes out there, takes that big old fluid swing that kids take that old people can't take anymore. Maybe they used to, and he bombs it out there, and you're like, son of, how did you just hit the ball that hard when you're only 150 pounds, sopping wet, and you take that easy swing? Drives me crazy.
Yeah. Oh, when I was younger and these old guys would see me and my buddies play, they called us limberbacks. And we just laughed and scuffed it off. And like, yeah, look at these old goats. They got to come up with something to say about us.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older and can't turn as much as I used to and can't hit it even close to as far as I used to when I was younger, I know what they mean. I never came home from playing golf and an hour later I was sore. That happens now. I mean, it's not excruciatingly painful, but it's just I'm sore.
I remember.
I used to play 36, 54, not think twice about it.
I remember we used to go on remotes when John and I remote broadcast to different sponsors when John and I just got started.
Yeah.
And John bounce around here and there. We go to commercial break immediately. Off come the headsets. He's going on over there and, come back and all that kind of stuff. Now we're over there at Stivers. We don't hardly ever get up. John will get up every once in a while. We both get up and we're like, we make these noises when we sit down now.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, it does. It does kind of hurt. Bob, I see you working. I'm ready for Mal over in Atlanta to hop in too. But yeah, this is exactly right, Bob.
Brett.
Exactly.
Brett from Beauregard says, John, stat of the day. The Dodgers have won 3 World Series championships since 2020. The Braves have won 2 since Moses walked the earth. Not necessarily true. 1914, the Boston Braves, the Miracle Braves, under manager Gene Stallings, were in last place in July. They ended up winning the pennant, winning the World Series, 1914. They played in 1948 against the Indians. I don't think they won it. They won it in 1957 when they were in Milwaukee.
Did the Brooklyn Dodgers ever win a World Series?
Yes, 1955.
Oh, look at that. Maybe throw that one in there, Bob. Don't forget about the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. They won
right.
2.
So,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, the Braves roll into Atlanta in what, 1966?
Yes.
Is that the year?
That was the year. Yes.
Yeah. And nobody gave 2 toots about them till they got hot in 92. Go Falcons. And
Band
take the Braves with you. That was the bumper sticker in Atlanta. Nobody gave a rip.
Bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
We want to talk about bandwagon fans. John, we need to take a whole show if the subject is going to be bandwagon fans, because we've seen them, we know them, we live amongst them.
Yeah.
All the way around. One of the things that this morning, 7:30 in the morning Central Time, it's 8:30 Eastern, and they're in their high-rise buildings in Midtown Atlanta. They're getting things going on Wall Street, And one of the things they're looking at as they scramble like John does to take that big sip of coffee and get ready is, okay, all right, who's making the early movement? Who's going, anything? What kind of trends are we looking at for the week ahead that we can advise our clients on? What will we advise them to buy? What might we advise them right now would be a good time to sell? John would have you believe that is the engine upon which not only does this entire country operate, but the entire world is in a shameless pursuit of. Buy and sell stocks. Do you want to? And if you buy something, it's not necessarily because, hey, this is doing great, and you catch them right at the crest of their value, just as they're about to dip down, and here you are, you bought it at the high point of their stock price, and now it's going down. You're thinking, wait a minute, they've been moving up for a year and a half. I finally find them, and here they are. It takes them 3 months, and they're dipping back down again. Or you're looking at a stock, and you're saying, I know it's a small company, mom and pop, but I like what they're doing. I like their, the money they got behind them. I think that they've got, solid leadership. I think you need to buy this company's stock because I'm telling you, they are poised to do big things.
Well, you're right about that. And there's some of these stocks, also known as teams, since that's what we're focusing on, that people have made a lot of money with, and they've held on to them. They are blue chips. I mean, they're the IBMs and the Coca-Colas of the world, and they're just hold on. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Just hold on to it.
Yep.
But there's been a couple of rocky roads. Maybe some of these teams went the way of New Coke, and it just had this big, shift, and everybody kind of freaked out. But then things settled back down a little bit, and things were heading back in the right direction. So, yeah, it's interesting to look at football programs in that way. And I've always said it, you put your money behind what you're saying. I got a little bit more, I'm feeling a little stronger about it.
About your opinion.
Oh, you're kind of like, this team's going to be great. You wanted to put $1,000 on it? Well, no, but I just think it's going to be great. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, everybody's got an opinion. We get that. But if you really feel strongly about it, put your money where your mouth is. Bet. Yeah. Buy some stock in them if you think this company's going to do well.
But it ain't easy. It ain't easy. It don't come easy. But so many different factors are involved. You mentioned New Coke. Now, full disclosure, my father worked for Pepsi-Cola for something like 14 years.
Yep.
And Coke was the enemy. When they came up with New Coke, you know who loved it? You know who thought New Coke, in occasion, I think it was like early 80s, late 70s, something like that.
I was at Alabama when it happened. I couldn't believe it. It was 83-ish.
One of the most popular brands, soft drink or whatever, ever. People around the world knew what Coke was. This is before Coke Zero and Coke, this and that. It was Coke. You had Coke. Everybody knew Coke. So, and when you bought it in the South, you wanted a double cola at the pharmacy or something. You know what you asked for? Give me a Coke.
Sure.
I mean,
you say, I'll have a burger and a Coke. No Coke, Pepsi. Ooh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they did that in that Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi skit on Saturday Night Live, no Coke, Pepsi. And Pepsi was, I like Pepsi. Always have. Grew up on Pepsi, believe me. And they were having a hard time. They were running a fairly distant second. And then for that golden little period of time where the Coke executives totally screwed up and said, you know what? Here we are, riding high. Everybody's trailing us. Let's change everything. And they came out with a different kind of Coke. It wasn't a different Coke. It was still branded as Coke, but they changed the by gosh recipe for it. And everybody thought it was awful. So, John, I swear to gosh, it took 3 months at the most before they say, whoa, hey, whoa, sorry. And so they rebranded it, the old Coke, as new Coke. And they had two different kinds of Coke for a very little while so they can get rid of some of that crappy Coke that they came out with. And then they went back to the new Coke. They went back to the regular, everybody knows it, Coke after that. Pepsi-Cola stock went soaring out there. So in that context, is there a team out there that is really about to do something stupid in the Southeastern Conference that will give you some other team, some other school a chance to take advantage of their error in judgment?
I've got a really, really good stockbroker, and he told me not to panic on the Coke deal. And at the time, people didn't think of it this way, but smart people did. This isn't going to last long. Coke knows what they're doing, because when they come back and they rebrand it Coke Classic and they get rid of that new Coke that they had for about 3 months, people are going to go berserk. And that stock's going to go through the roof, which it did. And I'm calling up my man going, hey, I wasn't sweating it. Okay, it dipped a little more than I wanted it to, but look where it is today. Man, you're the greatest. Awesome.
I want to take this analogy to the point where I stretch it so much it screams and potentially rips. Let's just say you are running a very solid second in the market. You're doing all right. Your fans love you. You're making money. People love you who love you. But you're second in the market. The number one brand in the market, all of a sudden, after a couple of so years of profit, not super great, but solid years of profit, they think, we got to go all in. And you give your CEO a 7-year extension when he really hasn't done anything super great. And that other school says, oh boy, now here we go. They've got that guy at CEO, and I'm not impressed with him, unlike that previous CEO who was absolutely killing everybody. Let's take advantage right now. And there are other people out there who are saying, hang on. This guy may end up being okay. Be patient. I know he ain't been bad. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe if we stick with this CEO after a tiny rocky period, and maybe that number 2 brand in the market gets a little foothold, then all of a sudden, here we go. We go back to obscene profitability, and everything's going to be fine again.
It reminds me kind of like, he's only going to be there 4 years. This guy ain't staying in Tuscaloosa. Don't fool yourself. Forget
Tuscaloosa?
About it. No, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't get your hopes up, because he is out of here.
You know, Tuscaloosa, that might be a fair analogy to what we're talking about here. Because I was not only in the middle of all that conversation with people, I actually was partaking in some of that conversation with people, because history told us that guy was never any place more than 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's the case. Baton Rouge, East Lansing, Miami, Toledo, the Browns. He's a job hopper, something else. All he's doing is biding time to get back in the NFL. And every year he's over there hoisting a trophy, and Auburn fans are going, son of again.
Yeah. Some smart.
I hear he's retiring.
He ain't going anywhere.
I hear he's retiring. I hear he's gonna take the Texas job. And here he is coming back for another year. Does that guy get tired? Isn't he old? He's old, right? Well, now he's gone.
This is a good one, Jeff. Otis Nixon was a fan of both new and old Coke. Huh. I didn't know that. Love my man Otis. See, there were some Braves players. Otis Nixon was one of my favorite Braves players. Rafael Belliard at shortstop was a good one. He was one. The guy with vertigo was pretty good.
Nick
Who was the Chambliss guy that played first base? What was his first name?
Chris
Chambliss.
That wasn't exactly in that one. That was the early 80s, but yeah.
And who was the catcher that broke his leg and went off the field doing the tomahawk chop?
That was Greg Olson.
Olson, yeah.
Well,
I know something about the Braves. I'm not completely dumb when it comes to Braves baseball.
Here we go. Bob from Pike Road, we were wondering whether he's back from Gettysburg. Somebody says, not if he's on Spirit Airlines.
Hey, that's a good one.
Bob from Pike Road has missed all the baseball talk. Bob from Pike Road says, hang on. I will say this. The Saban dynasty has, in a way, blinded many Bama fans that forget how great of a football coach the coach Gene Stallings was.
Yeah.
He had a mini dynasty, 70 wins, unofficially.
I knew that was coming.
And a natty in 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, people thought, oh, what a dry spell between. Yeah, I'm with you, because John and I have interviewed Gene Stallings, gosh, dozens of times. People always talk about, oh, the great dry spell between the Bear and Saban. I don't think so. Saban 110. I'm sorry, Shula 110. Dubose 110.
Bill Curry.
And everybody, Bill Curry 110. Everybody forgets about Gene Stallings, and I don't know why.
I don't
Gene
either.
Stallings was awesome.
Yeah, he was, no doubt about it. Incredible career there. 70 wins in 70 years.
Jeff says, I hated that Bockrath ruined that.
Is that guy still around? I mean, where is he today? I hadn't heard that name. Yeah.
Bockrath.
There was how should I put it? There were some interesting years between Bryant and Saban. And those 7 with Stallings were pretty good, sandwiched in between them. But, Stallings had a rough start. Started out 0-3. Got beat in the Fiasco Bowl by Louisville that first year. But after that, things kind of turned around. Kind of like Saban. Saban had a rough first year. And DeBoer's had a rough too. Maybe that's why their stock price is maybe off a little bit.
Rough.
There's certain things that you look for, some trends, some market angles, things of that nature that aren't overly positive, I would say, if you're an investor. Yeah. You're a little shaky. You're a little nervous, particularly where that stock price was at an all-time high. And it in my opinion, it's not there at this moment.
With all of that analogy, sprinkled in with a couple of people talking about the Braves and John going off on a tangent and coming back, we will go through what we would, the Wall Street firm of Longshore McKnight will go through our recommendations to you, our clients, our consumers during the program today. A little bit later on, the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yeah, another box score we're going to break down.
It's long. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the steaks, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. All righty, Hope, we're back at it about 15 minutes to the top of the hour. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends, all your associates to do it as well. You can check us out anytime on your schedule. We're live 7 to 9 weekdays, Monday through Friday, but you can check us out anytime you want. It's so easy. Facebook, YouTube, X, Spotify, iTunes, Instagram. Just go to the search bar, type in Longshore and McKnight. You can also go to yellowhammernews.com and check us out there, the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. So we appreciate it. Just hit there again, hit that search bar, type it in. You'll find us. It'll pop up. Speaking to a good friend of the program last night, Barry, listens to us through his Bluetooth every morning on the way to work. He goes, man, I wish you could get Travis on a little earlier. I said, man, he comes on at 8. He goes, yeah, I know, but I'm walking in the office about 8 and I have to go in with my phone and put it down on the desk, and everybody's kind of looking at me. I went, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And he just smiled and said, yeah, I get it. No, I just close my office door and listen to what you and Travis, you guys have to say. I said, man, we love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Now, there we go.
Yep. Do it when you can. Do it on your own schedule. You know,
that's right.
Check it out later. It's timeless, you know. Travis.
So, Barry, we normally go through these type of drills alphabetically in alphabetical order. So why stop now?
Yeah.
The Alabama Crimson Tide, you know, they were in a position, you know, they were probably at an all-time high, 6-time national championship winning coach. They could take a bump in the road. They could take a hit. You know, Bama loses a game or, you know, goes to San Jose and gets blown out by Clemson or whatever else may happen. You know, a fluky play at the end of the game to lose it, something like that.
Tight roping the sidelines with a fumble. Although, you know,
things like
believe me, we've heard the excuses.
Disrupt the stock price. You know, people knew it was a rock solid blue chip investment. So little, you know, things like that, a little adjustment just didn't really affect the overall stock price. There was never a trend. Everybody felt really confident about where they were going. Now, like Coca-Cola and IBM and some others, you know, it's not going to move a lot, but it's going to stay steady. It's, you know, Procter and Gamble, they're going to hit that steady path.
But the key is you've got to change and adapt. There's not a stock that has just grown every day of its entire presence on the New York Stock Exchange. You've got to adapt. You've got to change a little bit. There's always going to be change. You know, IBM, if they were sitting there right now saying, I'm telling you, the fax machine is the way we need to go. That's the direction we need to take. You wouldn't be buying IBM stocks anymore. You got to adapt and change. You know, what was it on 30 Rock? Liz Lemon's boyfriend, the guy who plays Mayhem on the insurance commercial, he was a beeper salesman. A pager salesman. Yes. And he kept telling her, I'm telling you, they're going to make a comeback. You've got to keep adapting and keep changing and have faith in what you're doing. All stocks do that are worth it. The ones that don't adapt are going to die.
You know, when you have a change at the top, when a CEO decides to step down or fired, that will affect the stock price. That will get some investors a little nervous until they find out who the next person in charge is going to be. In saying all that, when Nick Saban stepped down, the stock price dropped. When Kalen DeBoer was announced, it didn't do much. People weren't overly excited one way or the other. They saw how this team started to play and perform or lack of performance. And a couple of annual quarterly reports that it included 20-point losses, 17-point losses, 35-point losses. That makes that stock price start trending down. They see a pattern. They don't like what they're seeing. And when they see that this CEO just got a contract extension, that doesn't make them feel very good either. And that stock price trends down a little lower. So if you held on to your Bama stock through all of that and the Saban retirement, your portfolio's not looking very good today.
Not as good.
If you
Again,
want to buy that stock today in hopes that it's going to go up, you're probably going to get it at a pretty good price, as low as it's been in quite some time.
some value there. But you're also taking a chance if you're saying, oh, that last year, what was an aberration? That was a blip in the radar. Past results tell us that it'll continue to rise, continue to grow, but you got that CEO that he's not from around here. You hired him. He wasn't even in the widgets business. Now he's in the widgets business, and he's in a different market and everything, and maybe that is who he is. So it is not without question. Let's not paint it to you, our clients, that no, man, this is a sure thing. Sure thing. I'm telling you, this is the biggest no-brainer since in the history of Earth. There's still some questions, particularly if you're looking for a big weekend on October 10th. You know, and you're thinking, this is really going to be a litmus test as how well they do in the second week in October.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Georgia comes in to take on Alabama on October 10th in Tuscaloosa. Georgia's number 4 in the nation, and Alabama is not. And Georgia beats up on them again by 3 touchdowns. Do you still hold your stock? Do you start
I think that's
thinking about a price?
The 12th is a Monday, and the phones will be ringing off the hook. Because if Bama comes into that game undefeated, as they should, because if they're not undefeated coming into that Georgia game, it is spiraling.
East Carolina,
you can't call
Kentucky.
Your man quick enough. Sell.
Mortimer, your brother.
Turn those machines back on. So they better, and if they are undefeated, that stock price is going to have ticked up just a little bit, little hair. You know, it's heading in the right direction. They're undefeated, playing well. And if they beat Georgia, they'll have a big spike on that Monday. But if they lose it, yep, it's going to start trending back down again, particularly with Tennessee staring them in the face the next week. So I would say, you know, are you holding on to what you have in hopes that it will get back to where it once was? Or are you going to buy it at a lower price and maybe make a little profit if they do start out 5-0 and beat Georgia? Maybe you can cash in then, or do you hold on even further if they can get better than this?
If you're a buyer, if you're looking for value, not if you're holding stock, but you're thinking, you know, golly, I need a bedrock foundational stock that I build the rest of my portfolio that I know. Do you think, man, I may buy Alabama? Do you take them after they start out 5-0, after they beat East Carolina and Kentucky and Florida State and South Carolina? Do you buy them then when the price is pretty high? Or do you bet on the very likely possibility that they're not going to go through the next 3 undefeated? Georgia on the road, Tennessee on the road, Texas A&M at home. They're not going to win all 3. They may lose. They'll probably lose one. They may lose two. There's a small possibility they could lose all three. And then you can get them at a much better price if you still believe in them. You can buy it during the off week and say, all right, I got it at a really good price. I still believe in them. They played a tough. And then you go to Baton Rouge and they lose another one. You're like,
See, I see the savvy investor buying a little today, thinking they're going to be undefeated and maybe unloading a little bit of it on the 5th of October after the Mississippi State game. And they're in the top 10, 5-0, undefeated. Everybody's giddy about Keelan Russell and all that kind of stuff. Maybe unloading then and making a little profit. Or do you chance it, press it, and say, yeah, we're going to take it up against Georgia and really make a profit after they beat the Dogs again in the regular season, and then I'll have a nice little profit there. I don't know. It's savvy investors. What will you do when it comes to the Tide? Because I can tell you that stock is down from a year ago at this point. 35-point losses will do that to you. 20-point losses will do it to you.
I like that. That would be my advice to my clients. Don't buy it now. Buy a little bit after the Georgia game. If they beat Tennessee, buy a little bit more. You know, if they go to homecoming, who did that? Against Texas A&M, and they eke out a win there, buy a little bit more. And then if they win against LSU, just, your whole bankroll in on the Tide at that point. You've already gotten a couple of wins, a couple of advances with a couple of those wins. But, man, because they ain't going I don't think they're going 3-0 through that stretch. And then the off week and then LSU. They dang sure ain't going 4-0.
It's a tough one. That's a tough stretch. There again, I guess that's why those guys on Wall Street are eating Rolaids all the time.
It's a weird schedule, John. It's cupcake.
Yeah, come on.
Crusher, killer, absolute tough one, really difficult one, really tough one, and then cupcake.
That one that they're forcing them to play.
Their whole season really comes down to 4 games. And they're all right next to each other. We're all right in the middle of the year. Bama fans are going to be bored until October, and they're going to be bored after the first weekend of November.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be whatever it is. 8 games that they're going to say, man, I can't wait till Georgia. Or, man, I hope we make it to a bowl game. We better beat Vanderbilt. That kind of a thing.
Whoa, if it's I hope we make it to a bowl game, it is bottomed out.
So.
Yeah.
I don't care what you get. 10 cents on the dollar, sold.
Oh, they are bailing. I mean, oh, yeah. So that's a tough one. Bama's been a very steady stock. People loved it. Keep holding on to it. Couldn't get enough of it. Buying more of it. Now, little bit different. They're a little more concerned about their investment when it comes to the Tide, because there again, that price is as low as it's been in quite some time. People have lost a lot of money that have held on to that Bama stock. But as I mentioned, buy a little right now, probably going to go on the uptick before that Georgia game, and you can maybe sell it and make a little profit. But from Georgia on, things are going to get dicey again.
For a little while, and then it's going to get easy at the end. Then you can rake in the can.
Yeah, going to get real easy toward the end, real easy. All right, Arkansas, look, that price has been down pretty low as well. I like Sam Pittman, but never had a thought that, this guy's going to turn it around. They're going to be good. They're going to be great. I don't know what it is about Arkansas. They got a lot of wealthy alumni. They got a lot of wealthy, big-time companies over there that should be funneling money into that program. I don't get it. Don't know what's going on, but Arkansas should be better than they are, and they just let me down all the time. I just don't have a lot of faith in them.
I still believe that if they asked them in their hearts of hearts, they would rather go back to the Big 12. They in their heart of hearts, I mean, they're making money left and right. In their heart of hearts, they probably would say, we're all right with where we were. Because, I mean, they hired Calipari. They make a splash hire with them. They're good at cross country. They're getting rid of men's and women's tennis. You know why? Because they can't afford it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And And man, football, they used to be they won national championships in football, but they haven't done diddly squat in football in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, I don't, that's one of those, these savvy brokers do a lot of digging and go, look, I know this isn't at a good price right now, but I think we just buy a little bit of it and see what happens. I don't know if I'm there yet with Arkansas. Don't know a lot about their new head coach. I need to know a little bit about
Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah, I want to see what he can do. So I'm not recommending a Arkansas buy right now. I just think we hold on to that, just see what happens, tap the brakes. When we come back from our top of the hour break, though, Barry,
Yeah.
Now, here's a team I want to talk about. I don't talk enough about this team, Barry. I just don't talk enough about our next team.
Are we skipping to Mississippi State?
No, we're going in alphabetical order.
Oh, okay.
We're staying in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
I do talk a lot about Mississippi State because I cannot believe some of the places they'll go to play a football game. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And, of course, the team we're about to talk about, their softball team, lost 25-0 over the weekend. It is hour number 2. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's over 11 grand offers 0% for 5 years. Encompasses 5 grand off only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers. New Ram, 16 grand off for 0% financing. And heavy duties, 13 grand off with Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Okay, a couple of minutes past the top of hour number 2 here on this Monday. Glad you're with us. Hope all is well today. When it comes to money, finances, I don't kid around. I might kid around and throw some jabs and some needles and things like that towards certain programs or whatnot. But when we're talking about finances, it's all on board. It's serious. And this next team, Barry, I think might be the best value on the board. Have they bottomed out? I mean, I hate to use that term. That's such a harsh term, bottomed out. Man, they have bottomed out. Woo! But I think they have. The Auburn Tigers have bottomed out. I don't see them going any lower. And I know if you had some Auburn stock and you got all giddy about Hugh Freeze or whoever else has been over there since their national championship coach got run, it's been a tough go. And I could go over the records of how Auburn's competed against SEC teams and top 25 teams, but I don't need to do that again, do I? Do I?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
And their record against Georgia and Alabama and some of these other ones. So I think you catch my drift. Auburn has bottomed out. I think
here's
the best investment on the board.
Just in the decade of the 20s.
Yep.
Just in the decade of the 2020s. This is what John's researchers, his interns are researching about this company's history. Just 2019, 9-4. And you're thinking, 4 losses? Listen, they take a 4-loss season away. Okay, 2020, 6-5. 2021, 6-7. Then 5-7. Then 6-7. Then 5-7. Last year, 5-7, 1-7 in the SEC. The last 3 years, Auburn is 6-18 in the Southeastern Conference. You can go back further. The last 4 years, they are 8-24. The last 5 years, they're 11-29. If they haven't bottomed out yet, good gosh, I would hate to see the bottom.
Yeah, I hear you what you're saying.
Those are the facts.
Yeah.
Those are how that stock has performed over the last 5 years.
So I'm feeling better about where Auburn is today. I know, how can you feel better? But we're looking at it from a stock standpoint. And I'm seeing nothing but upward movement here. There again, they've kind of flamed out. They're at the bottom. But I do have faith that I'm going to make a little profit here this year. The experts claim 6.5 wins. I say no. It's going to be more than that. I think there'll be more than 6.5 wins, which if that happens, that stock price is going to go up a little bit. I might not make a killing, but I'm going to make a profit.
Yeah, that's what you've got to focus on.
That it's going to continue to move up. I don't know if I'm going to go double-digit increases in my first year. We don't want to get greedy, but I see over the long haul, this stock that is extremely low today is going to do nothing but get stronger, and I'm going to make more money.
It's not a stock you are looking at thinking, man, I have got to make a splash. I have got to find something hot that can make me some quick money in and out. You've got to be patient with this stock.
Yes.
If you're looking for some place you're thinking, man, I want to get me something, it's not going to be one that you can go ahead and tell your wife to check prices at Cabo San Lucas or Playa del Carmen or Puerto Vallarta or something like that. If you do well in your first year with this stock, get you a little Rosemary Beach, Yeah. How about take the kids to Fort Morgan, maybe a visit over to Cape San Blas or something like that. Then later on, maybe after several years and some patience, then you can say, honey, we're heading to Cancun, but not right now with this stuff. Right now.
You could probably go to Cancun today. It's such a tourist trap and it's cheap and it ain't worth it. But I hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Acapulco.
So I'm buying all the Auburn I can get. I think Auburn is a good. You hear me out here? I mean, I'm not talking softball. I'm not, whatever else, baseball after they got swept by Bama and look what they've done. I'm talking
they have had
financial information here. And to
okay.
me, and I know we got probably 12, 13 more teams to go over, but to me right here, and I might find one later on down the line. I don't expect to see one. To me, Auburn is the best buy in the league right now. It's low, but it ain't getting any lower. It's going up.
But when you recommend it to your clients, you know what it's going to be like every Monday morning. You pull into the office at 7:58. You head upstairs. Hello, Mr. Longshore. You've got several calls waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. You need to be patient with them. Hello. Yeah, I know they lost. Yep, just got to be patient. I told you you had to be patient. Every week for a little while with those panicky investors. I don't know. Did you see how they looked against Baylor? I'm telling you, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I told you when I recommended this stock that you're going to have to be patient. Well, I just know when they go to Knoxville in early October, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're going to have a lot of those phone
I don't
calls
know
you
what
got
the
to
little
deal with.
disclaimer is on the bottom of the little confirmation sheets that they send you when you buy stock. Something like, your investment advisor is not responsible for the gains or losses that you may occur. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. All purchases involve risk.
Yeah. So I probably should have that memorized, but I don't know it verbatim. So I love Auburn in their position. I think it's a good buy. I like the next team as well because I'm not sure they can get much lower either.
Oh,
I'm not sure they've fallen as low as the team we just spoke about, Auburn.
The Florida Gators,
lowest price, but I like the Florida Gators as well. Very impressed with their head coach.
Oh, yeah.
I like the way their schedule sets up. I think Florida is a buy as well. Maybe not as high of a buy as Auburn, but really pretty high. I like the Gators too to buy.
John Sumrall, who's one of my favorite people in the whole planet. I loved it last week. Remember when we had Paul Feinbaum on?
Yeah.
And we were talking about Sumrall and what happened with him with the Auburn job and everything. And Paul Feinbaum says, you guys know Sumrall better than I do. Sumrall is a killer. And he meant that as a compliment.
Oh,
right?
Heck yeah.
Sumrall's going to do what it takes to whip that program into shape. He's one of those that they hire this CEO from a well-performing smaller stock, and everybody in the business world loves him. He's going to get his picture on the front of, I don't know, Business World magazine. He's going to be interviewed by Maria Bartiromo, and all the guys on the chat line are going to lose their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be the darling of Wall Street sooner rather than later. And what you want to do, therefore, is you want to get in on that sooner rather than later. Am I right? Sumrall's a star. He's going to be great.
The whole world knows about this. For every other little penny stock traders calling everybody in the country, oh, you got to get on this Sumrall guy in the Florida Gators. Do it before everybody else jumps on board.
Here's the deal.
You get the low price now because it's going up as well.
You've got people that are saying, I can't buy both Auburn and Florida. Give me which one you think is going to be the best. Well, I'm with John. I would say buy a little bit of both. If you've got a certain bankroll, don't spend it all on one or all on the other, or even 70% on one, 30%. I'd go 50-50 with them, and even then, after September 19th, however that works out, you're still going to get phone calls. Sure. Why didn't you have me buy more Florida if Florida beats Auburn? Or, man, why in the world am I even buying Florida? Auburn looked great in that game. I should have bought all Auburn. And what are you doing? So you're going to have to deal with a lot.
It's like betting
of drama.
In a football game. Say you got one team at 7 and it drops to 3 before kickoff, and you able to bet the middle there, win both sides possibly. Same thing there with Florida and Auburn. Same thing. Yeah. Now, I don't know if these, stocks are trading at $5 a share, but I'm buying both. I'm buying both of those teams. Look, we're in it for the long haul. We're not in it to try to, get in and get out and make a couple of bucks here.
Yeah, if you're a day trader, that's a different deal.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. I mean, I think these stocks over a 2-3 year period are going to make you a nice little profit. The Georgia Bulldogs, they're kind of just there. They're just kind of there,
What?
Not impressed that they get beat in a college football playoff team by a team like Ole Miss. They're having some problems in the regular season with one particular team. but I don't think it's really affected their stock price a lot. It hadn't dropped a lot. It hadn't gained a lot. It's just kind of there. It's kind of like Bama had been, under Saban for such a long time. It's just kind of there. It's been, it has risen. If you'd gotten in on Georgia years ago, you're feeling pretty good about it. But it's been kind of stagnant. It just doesn't go up and down very much anymore. You take some good ones, you take some bad ones. If they can win it all, a lot of people think they will this year. And what you've held on to is going to show a profit. If they lose another regular season game like they've been prone to do, or maybe flame out in the playoff game, it's going to take a dip. So it's a wait and see kind of thing with Georgia. But I think you've done pretty well if you had them over the last 6 or 7 years.
My stock advisor has always told me, don't go. If you go and you're doing your research on a stock and you visit their corporate headquarters and they've got a big, huge, shiny, spinning globe sign out front, and you've got all these fountains and all of this, you've got England Dan and John Ford Coley on the Muzak inside, and beautiful secretaries and well-appointed furniture. All that's a bunch of nothing. Look at the guts of the organization. Look at the bones of it. Are they built right? Do they have the right people? Do they give their employees the right resources? Do they do the hard work and the research? That's Georgia. Georgia's got good bones. If you're buying a house, buy the Georgia house, where that the furnace works great, that you've got really good Ethernet service. The house has got is hurricane proof. You've got double paned windows, and there's no waterbed in the whole place. This is what you're looking for. That kind of a thing, because maybe they're at the peak, but that is a house, that is a stock that is built to last.
I think it is too. Not going to, there again, make a lot of dips one way or the other. Certainly don't see that, but it's solid. And I think you should hold on to it.
Yeah. Plainsman Preston says, Bulldogs are just kind of there. Yeah, like J.P. Morgan.
Kentucky was kind of solid there. You weren't going to make a lot, probably weren't going to lose a lot. Had a coach that was the dean of all the coaches in the SEC, and everybody, loved him and thought Stoops is great, blah, blah, blah. But they decided to make a move, so that kind of the stock price took a hit. There again, here's a coach I don't know a lot about. I'm hearing a lot of hype. There's some people out there hyping this guy up a lot of it, maybe falsely trying to get that price up when it really is not warranted. I think we need to see how they play on the field. We're going to know in week 2. Alabama heads to Lexington in week 2, and a lot of people are saying, watch out, Kalen. That could be a trap for you. I'm kind of holding on. I need to see what Kentucky's about, because I just don't know a lot about them at this point.
Yeah. Is Will Stein the next coming of Rich Brooks at Kentucky?
He might be the next coming of Rudy Stein.
Yeah.
Like threw out there on the mound and said,
horn rim glasses, nervous, relief pitcher. And you're thinking, okay, this Will Stein guy, if he's anything like Rudy Stein, is the athletic director telling him to get hit by a pitch so he can get on base? Just because that's about all that he's able to contribute to the to the Kentucky Wildcats? Will Stein, or Rudy Stein, whose helmet never really fit right. It sat too high on his head.
Yeah. So I'm holding Kentucky. I'm not jumping anything yet. I got to see how they perform, or lack of performance. Kind of like LSU, our next team.
Ooh.
Everybody was buzzing. Everybody's giddy. They're spending a lot of money, Barry.
Boy, they are.
As an investor, I'm thinking, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like my
LSU
spending a ton of cash.
LSU is that company that does have the brightly colored spinning globe sign out at front, on top of a pedestal that says LSU. They got a few spotlights going up, they'll have, absolutely drop dead gorgeous secretaries out front and, the terrazzo floors and fountains inside and everything. But you got to watch out for them because,
Barry, to me, LSU's kind of like ShamWow. Everybody had to have one.
Yeah.
They're selling them like hotcakes. Everybody was ordering the ShamWow. And then they came up with the Slap Chop, and everybody had to order one of those too.
Yeah, hey,
and
I want to slap my troubles away,
Vince got busted for soliciting a prostitute, and that stock went down the drain.
The analogy
with LSU.
The analogy of Vince with Lane Kiffin is not bad, especially as it comes, as I know it did, off the top of your head.
It did.
I like,
Vince wears a headset, so does Kiffin. So somebody needs to get a picture of Kiffin in his LSU garb, and then computer generate Vince's face on Kiffin's body.
Everybody needs to view LSU stock as just right. If you got to have some money quick.
Yeah.
This is not a long-term stock because there's too many dips, too many peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
You want a stock that goes like that. You don't want a stock that goes. So
ShamWow and Slap Chop spent all this money on production and advertising and everything like that. Spent a ton, similar to LSU. Had a good result right out of the gate. Everybody can't get enough ShamWow towels or Slap Chop dicers. And then, boom. Kind of like My Pillow. You don't see that guy on TV anymore. Same thing with LSU. I mean, is LSU going to, instead of selling pillows, they're going to start selling socks and sheets and towels and all this other stuff? I don't know what LSU's thinking about.
I think Vince is actually ran for Congress in Texas.
No way. And didn't win? How do you not vote for that guy?
I don't know, but I'd like to I'd like to watch one of his speeches.
Okay,
anyway.
Maybe he had a little run with a lady of the night. What? How many other politicians have done that?
Hey, Hugh Grant did, for goodness sakes.
Heck.
Well,
man, I got to look into Oval Office about 2 months ago, and I went, is that where it took place?
Yeah. Coming up, we'll continue on, plus the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel and the Phantoms Daily Dog coming up as well. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs. Okay, welcome back in. glad you are with us here today. It's that time of the segment where we recap the Phantoms Daily Dog. And we'll do it here. Barry, we had a winning week last weekend.
Yes.
We had a winning week.
Right. I can't read where Friday went just by that opening statement.
We had a winning week last week, but unfortunately Friday was not a winner. So we finished the week 3-2.
Right.
But Barry, we talked also about this last week. I didn't think I could see it happen again. This box score might be even worse than the Atlanta Hawk New York Knicks box score from earlier in the week.
Yeah.
It is Friday night's Orlando Magic Detroit Piston box score. The game was played in Orlando, a home game for the Magic, where the Magic had a lead at halftime of 60-38. They were up by 22 points at halftime. Check out the box score for how many points Orlando scored in the third and fourth quarter of that game. Up by 22 and scored 60 in the first half.
At one point, Orlando playing at home, and a win would move them on to the next round. They trailed at one point by 24. I'm sorry, the Magic led at one point over the Pistons by 24. They led the series at 3-1.
Yeah.
All right. So, halftime score again was Orlando 60 and Detroit 38.
That's right. That's a 22-point lead at home at halftime.
In the third quarter, at home, the Magic scored 11 points. In the fourth quarter, the Magic scored 8 points. The Magic scored 19 points in the second half.
Yeah.
They got outscored in the second half, 24-11 in the third. And in the fourth quarter, with the season in the balance, Detroit outscored the Orlando Magic 31-8.
That's 55-19 at home.
In one half.
With
a 24-point lead.
And catching 4. We're up 22 points, catching 4 at halftime. Got to feel pretty good about how that's played out at home. Well, it didn't get much better on Sunday. They were blown out on Sunday by 22.
Yep, they had their chance, tough guy.
Yeah, they did, and they absolutely blew it. But at home, catching 4, up by 22 at half, and they only scored 19. That box score might be worse than the one earlier that we talked about.
Well,
with the Hawks.
There were 3 Game 7s over the weekend. Game 7, 76ers beat the Celtics Saturday night.
Watch out.
Celtics move on. The 76ers move on. Celtics done. Pistons beat the Magic. And again, Friday, Detroit had the comeback. And then Sunday, Pistons win that game by 22. And then the Cavs beat the Raptors.
Yeah. No, the Raptors beat the Cavs on Friday. Yeah, on Sunday. I'm looking at Friday where the Lakers, look at this. Everybody thought the Lakers were done. Kind of fiddle farting around in the regular season, and the playoffs get here, and boom. LeBron goes 28, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in the Friday night game.
So
as they move on.
Real quick, tonight, your viewing plans tonight.
Here we go.
Yep. Knicks and the 76ers.
And everybody thought Boston, even though Detroit had the better record, kind of like the Braves, in the Eastern Conference, everybody thought Boston was the better team.
Jason Tatum got hurt.
Already been eliminated. Well, Barry, we're not going 76ers Knicks tonight at Madison Square Garden. This Knicks team, I'm impressed. They're pretty dadgum good. But we also have, in the Western Conference, the Timberwolves, who a lot of people are going, wow, where these guys come from? Going to San Antonio playing the San Antonio Spurs.
8:30 on the NBC Sports Network.
I see that. I don't even know do I have that? I think I do. I know it. I've got Peacock.
All right.
Wolves catching 13.5 in this game seems a little bit large, little hefty. Now, no, I don't think that the T-Wolves can win this game, but that's a big number for a first game in a series. So we're going to grab the points tonight, take the 13.5, and take the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been good to the Phantom. We're going to go with them tonight, coming off another winning week. Just want to point that out before we get this week. We're taking the Timberwolves plus 13.5 at San Antonio tonight.
That is the Phantoms' daily dog for the evening. Again, a winning week.
Yeah.
For the Phantom.
That's right.
As we get back now to buy or sell.
This is a tough one.
Stocks.
Because obviously people had gotten in on Ole Miss when Kiffin was there. Got to get better. Going to take a chance with Ole Miss. So you've done well with Ole Miss during the Kiffin era.
Yep.
Even last year winning a playoff game, that stock rose. Ole Miss, Barry, to my mind, is at the highest it's been. This is as high as Ole Miss stock has been in a long, long time. So you're feeling pretty good about it. But are you willing to buy more? Are you willing to sell what you got?
Is this high level of return for its investors that they are currently providing, is this as high as it will ever be? If you buy it at its height, is the best thing that you can hope for is that it maintains that value, or is it more likely that it will start trending back and finding its normal place in the business world? I say sell. If you've got it, sell it. If you're thinking about buying it, don't.
Yeah. You got a returning quarterback coming back, starting quarterback, big. You got a coach that proves he can win a playoff game against a really good Georgia team. Looking at their schedule, things, ramp up a little bit with LSU. They're at Florida, at Texas. Hey, even Auburn's on the Ole Miss schedule. Got Georgia at Oklahoma. Just don't see it from the schedule standpoint. Not willing to buy. And I've got a feeling that it's going to, as the season wears on and we get to early December, that stock price today is going to be lower in December. So I'm probably thinking about bailing on Ole Miss. I think they've reached their high.
Yep.
I don't think they're getting any higher.
With you. Now,
Mississippi State, I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
I would not, in good conscience, go to my clients and say, hey, here's a hot tip. Sink some money into Burger Chef.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm really feeling good about Rack's roast beef. Man, if you've got any extra money, I've got a hot tip for you. How about Nico wafers?
Yeah.
No,
you should have gotten out of this.
Charles Chips, where they deliver the chips. Those are, you're looking around and you're saying, wait a minute, are they still around?
Yeah.
And you tell them, yeah, they're still around. They are still around. And that's Mississippi State. Wait, hey, I really want you to buy Mississippi State. And they're thinking, wait, is Mississippi, they're still in the SEC, right?
Anybody that had at Mississippi State stock should have sold it the Friday before the number one Bulldogs faced Alabama in Starkville. Should have sold it that Friday because that's as high as it's ever been. And it ain't coming back. Now, you could probably get them at a bargain basement price and play around with them for a little bit. And, they might win they might start out, go to play Lambeau and win. They go to Minnesota and win. That might tick it up a tad. If they beat South Carolina, whoopee. But you got to let go of it by that point.
Yeah.
It ain't going to make any money.
Hey, guys, how about Der Wiener Schnitzel? Huh? How about Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Oh, man.
How about Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips?
Ugh.
I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to
How
say
about
this.
Lums? Remember that place? There was one in Fort Walton.
I actually, when I was a little kid, very little, there was a restaurant in my little town. It was a chain restaurant, and it was called Sambo's.
Yes, there was one in Montgomery, right over here on the Southern Boulevard.
How in the heck? Anyway, that's Mississippi State is steak and ale. Mississippi State is
it's done.
Burger Chef. Yeah. They're
and
quaint now.
Barry, the balance sheet doesn't look good either. I mean, you look at the balance sheet compared to other teams in this league. Ooh.
And there are excuses, but there ain't results.
There are a lot of the revenue streams. I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, they're like a roller coaster. They got a coach that's, really charismatic, and everybody gets excited about him and wants to hear what he's got to say. And they'll have a nice little run, and then they'll fall flat again. I'm not expecting much out of Missouri. Once again, look at their balance sheet. Their revenues aren't that great either compared to the other teams in this league. That worries me. If we don't have a lot of cash on hand, I'm a little concerned. And there again, they get hot, then they get cool. They get hot, they get cool. I just can't make a really good, firm, confident decision on Missouri where I would put my money on them.
September 21st, you're going to get that call. You would get the call because I know you're not doing it. I wouldn't either. Somebody would be getting that call the morning of September 21st saying, why in the Blue Blazes did you have me by Missouri? Did you just see what the Troy Trojans did to them on Saturday? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Missouri's going down and people are going to be ticked, but it's just the way it is.
Our next team, Barry, is another very strong buy, in my opinion. I realize they blew a 17-point lead at home in a college football playoff, but they got their quarterback coming back healthy, both coordinators coming back, like how the schedule sets up.
Defense is sturdy as heck.
Got some big games early. Go ahead and buy it right now because it's at a low right here. But if they get through the month of September at Michigan and at Georgia before they play Texas on October 10th, watch out for the Oklahoma Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. Yeah, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. I'm bullish on Oklahoma too. They would not be if you had somebody that says, look, I got room for one stock. What is it going to be? It wouldn't be them, but it would be very, very solid because people, it provides a nice combination of value, proven long-term success, and you're going to get it at an uptick. I mean, because they are definitely moving upwards.
Yeah. Oh, and how is Oklahoma's cash flow? Not bad. Not bad at all.
They do all right.
Last week. Yeah, they're not up there with Texas and Texas A&M, but doing pretty well. They got other sports as well that do good. You mentioned their softball programs.
Yes.
So, yeah, I like Oklahoma. I would be buying them. Barry, think about Oklahoma. You might be selling. You could be selling some of this by the time we roll into October, depending on what happens in Ann Arbor and Athens. But I don't think that's going to, unless it's a blowout, I think investors are going to wait and see how they perform in those games and probably say, well, hey, at least they wanted to play those games and go on the road to play in Michigan.
Now, if you go to the Baltic country, the Balkan countries, Montenegro and Herzegovina, where they filmed a lot of the Bond, Daniel Craig. What was the first one that he did?
Casino Royale.
Yep. Serbia, Croatia. I'm telling you, John, you're going to see a lot of Yugos there. You always have. Yugos are a big deal.
Yep.
They make a lot of money, or they make some money. They got a bunch of them over there. Yugos came to America and the doors are falling off, and you hit a speed bump and your axle would fall off and all. Yugos should never have been in the American market. South Carolina.
They
did okay on their own. They weren't in a conference for the longest time.
Yeah.
They were doing all right.
Well, to me, I don't have anything against Shane Beamer, great family man, but he's like the My Pillow guy. He's a lot of hype. He talks a lot. He's given all these great promises and unbelievable deals.
A lot of energy.
And it just doesn't materialize. It doesn't materialize.
You buy it and you look at it and you say, by gosh, that's just a pillow.
Yeah.
Say what you want about its aerodynamic and its space age polymers, and it's a pillow. Same thing with South Carolina. A lot of energy. My Pillow guy looks, his name's Mike. I do know that.
Yep.
Sells the heck out of it, developed it himself. But at the very end of the day, you wake up at 1:00 in the morning and you fluff that thing and you think, this is just a pillow.
Yeah.
South Carolina, they're just there.
They're just there.
Can't get excited about South Carolina.
They'll beat Clemson once in a while, and they've given some other teams like Alabama a run for their money, some tight games. I don't really like coaches that tell their defense, don't tackle this guy. Let them score. And that still kind of bugs me. I don't understand what that was all about. I mean, I know I've come on this airwaves before and said, I think in some games you just ought to let the team score so you can get the ball back. I didn't see that happening in the Alabama-South Carolina game last year. So there you have it. Yeah,
South Carolina has got two guys, maybe three, but definitely two guys in the top 6 of the NFL draft prospects. Their edge rusher named Dylan Stewart, and, of course, their quarterback, Lenoris Sellers, who is a stud. But, John, that's not enough.
No, it is not enough.
Just like the world.
It is not enough. And you never see My Pillow ads on it anymore. Is it even a company?
It is.
Go belly up. You never see them.
You can go online at mypillow.com and you can buy one right now.
Yeah, they used to be all over the television. You used to see them all the time. Don't see them anymore. All right, Tennessee. I'm hearing some bad things about Tennessee. Nobody's giving them any love, including me. I don't know about Tennessee, Barry. I'm not.
There's the My Pillow guy.
Yeah. I'm not a big Tennessee. I'm not willing to invest in Tennessee. Now, their schedule's workable. It's manageable. But am I buying into the negative Tennessee hype? Should I know more? Should I do some more research?
No, I'd say just don't do it. Forget about research.
I just don't feel good about that. You want to be confident in your investments. And there again, should I gamble and say, okay, I'm going to buy them low in hopes they'll beat Texas and Alabama and Texas A&M? But I'm not seeing it. They got LSU. They're at A&M, Alabama, Auburn, Texas. Well, I'm just not comfortable. Not confident.
They really like their freshman quarterback. His name is George McIntyre. There's not enough young people in the world today named George anymore.
Yeah, true.
Elsewhere, who else you hanging it on?
I don't see Tennessee beating Texas.
God.
See, the problem with Tennessee, you could buy a little right now, but then you get to that Texas, Auburn, Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina run. They might come out of that 2-3, and you're going, ooh, what'd I buy that for?
Yes.
I'm not sure I should have bought that. So I'm going to wait
Buyer's
on
regret.
Tennessee. I need to see more. Texas, lot of hype. You got to be careful about stocks like these because people are hyping them up. Like Georgia, people think they're going to be a national champion, be in the SEC championship game. Arch Manning, all that hype, all that buildup. Got Ohio State in week 2. Didn't seem to hurt them last year when they played Ohio State and got beat. schedule for some reason very manageable conference-wise. Not as manageable as had been the previous 2 seasons, but still pretty manageable. But I think Texas is overinflated right now. You might not be getting the best value out of Texas at the moment.
You got their people, they're having IP. Their reps, their client reps are coming up in the big Cadillac. They're wearing the Armani suits with kangaroo leather boots, and they're smooth talking, and they've got pinky rings and, diamond lapel pins and stuff like that. Yeah. And they're smooth as heck. And they're, let me introduce you to one of our employees. Arch, come over here. Arch, and he'll smooth you and everything. And Texas will sell you a bill of goods. And you'll say, man, you're impressive. I like your suit. Where'd you get that from? And is that clip on? All the, and the shoes and everything. And man, Arch Manning, handsome kid. Boy, I really like that. What have your returns been lately? Well, see, that's the thing. We're not selling the past. We're looking for the future.
That's right.
I love Texas. Right. I think they could win the national championship. I would buy some.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I think the price today is pretty high. And is it going to go higher? Well, a lot of people think they're going to win it all. So you could certainly cash out.
I think they will. I think they can. I think Texas and Georgia are better than everybody else in the league, but the Texas price has been overinflated for years. And I mentioned before, if there's one stock that you're thinking, I only can buy one stock and I want it to be really big, it would be Texas A&M. Texas A&M is poised.
Well,
John, poised.
Not so fast, because our man Tobias earlier today, not buying into A&M.
He says, be wary of hyping up Texas A&M. They had schedule luck in 2025. They played only one SEC team in the top 8 of the standings, and they lost to that team. I don't know.
Kind of like Texas with their SEC schedule the last 2 seasons.
I like their the bones, the structure of the organization. I like the promise there. I like the support they have. And I like the price I'm going to get. You're not going to get a Texas price for Texas A&M, but you'll get near Texas results at a bargain price. That's the one stock I'm saying, you got to buy this one. Thank me later.
The way you describe Texas A&M, the bones and
the
infrastructure, that sounds a lot like the Atlanta Braves. Another program that can't live up to the hype. Similar to A&M, they're hyped up every year. The late, great Philip Marshall never bought into A&M, said they were a hype train.
Hated Johnny Manziel and Kellen Mond.
A&M's got to show it to me. I've heard the talk. I'm ready to see some action. And I think Tobias is right. They kind of got an easy hand dealt to them SEC-wise.
Yeah.
Arizona State non-conference.
Citadel.
They're at LSU, at Alabama, Tennessee, at Oklahoma, got Texas, another manageable schedule, but I don't see A&M in the championship game. No.
All right, real quick, we'll wrap it up. Do you buy Vanderbilt?
I think they've reached a high. I don't think they can match what they've done the previous 2 seasons. And they're on the road a lot, at Auburn, at Georgia. At Florida. Got Alabama at home. But and NC State, can they beat NC State non-conference? I think you should have sold your Vanderbilt stock the day before they did not make the college football playoff. And if you're holding on to it, because there again, I think Vandy stock's as high as it's ever been in a long time. I don't see it.
If you have it, if you've been having it, if you've kept it, got it at a bargain price, sell it now. And if you're in a buyer's mood, don't buy Vanderbilt. John and I are in agreement on that one. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas-Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K runway run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. As we get going here with the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Big month in May out at Victoryland with their truck and buck giveaway. We'll be telling you all about it throughout the month. So get ready. The more you visit Victoryland, the better your chances of winning during the Trucks and Bucks giveaway in May. We'll tell you more about it. Stay tuned.
All right, you know the deal. It's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too, where this is a big, big month in the month of May. 6 topics. Gurn Jr. puts them all together. We have no idea. Let's roll. There's a couple of them already caught my eye. Piercy Percy?
Piercy Percy.
Piercy Percy.
Ooh, sharks.
Oh, no. Who names a shark? Percy, 9 feet, 432 pounds. Ding.
Don't they tag these things and then see where they go and what they do?
Since he got tagged, he's traveled 3,000 miles down the East Coast, just off the coast of Pensacola Beach. 9 feet 9, 432 pounds.
It's good to know.
Why he was first tagged by researchers in Nova Scotia. Down here, while shark activity has increased in the Gulf in recent years, OSearch data scientist John Tominski told Fox Weather previously that it was unusual for great whites to swim so close to shore. Nope. Love the beach. Grew up in Florida. That's got to be a terrible way to.
You know, Barry, one thing I've noticed about that, you don't hear about a lot of shark attacks like in the Caribbean. You know, people go down to the Caribbean, all these islands. You never hear many shark attacks down there. The water's crystal clear, it's warm.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Ugh. Percy.
I've always heard, Barry, the guys that are flying the planes with the banners behind them or the helicopters that go up and down the coastline.
Yes.
They say if you see what they saw in the water.
You wouldn't be out there, huh?
Yeah.
Well.
And to think I grew up in the water at Navarre Beach and,
well, I mean, those guys.
How close I was probably to a shark when I was out in the Gulf swimming and didn't know it.
The guys who were flying the airplanes with the banners out back that say "Fire Terry Bowden," they're looking down on Jordan-Hare Stadium. They're saying, "If you could see what we saw, whew, you'd keep that guy." Let's go back to it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Spin away on the Gurn Jr. 777 Topic Wheel.
Bad position.
Not a good position.
Yes, bad position. Who's in a bad position?
It's kind of like stock. You're not in a good position with that stock. You need to get out of it.
The Miami Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc, what did he do?
Pow.
All right, spun out. He got the jump. He led the early laps, but he got to the checkered flag, but he lost positions to Max Verstappen and George Russell. He was investigated post-race for several infractions. Driving his damaged car in an unsafe condition. Have you guys ever been on Woodley Road? Let's see. Leaving the track multiple times and gaining an advantage. I wonder why they don't do that so much when they're on like a curve. Can you just cut the curve off there and get past a guy?
No, Barry, and we were talking about they're going to be doing that in D.C. over the 4th of July. They're having one of these races down Pennsylvania Avenue.
I don't know. Charles Leclerc, bad position. Charles.
Come on, Charles.
All right. The Miami Grand Prix. And the Grand Prix
red, yellow, blue, and green.
Yes. All right. Let's get to it again.
Let's do it. I'm in. See what we got.
Right, 4 to go. We're rolling right on along. I'm kind of want to go to
going green.
This is Gig'em with a question mark.
Ooh.
Gig'em?
Gig'em?
Texas A&M reference coming up. Texas A&M. Oh, yeah, the Savannah Bananas. 102,000 fans in the Kyle Field, which is the 6th largest college football stadium in the country. Now, left field is about 180 feet. Right field is about 700. They had a packed house for the Savannah Bananas game.
Man.
And I love baseball. They make it exciting, and the Bananas are hilarious. But 102,000, can you even see up there?
Yeah, John, is the Braves ever had 102,000 in a game?
Oh, gosh, that's twice in the last 5 minutes.
I mean,
talking about
some gimmicky. They're making fun of America's pastime, and it is.
You ain't even got to hit it hard to get it out there. They're going to be playing in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee, which is 101,000 soon. The Bananas have got it going on, and I love it.
You make baseball entertaining and fun, not boring. Oh, that's how you get 102,000 people at a baseball game.
It's fun. There's no doubt about that.
Baseball regular, not fun.
Whew. All right.
I love it. That's a good one. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we can do. If there's something about the gross national product of Upper Volta, John's going to say, hey, what about the Braves? Because he's already done it twice on this topic wheel, and we ain't talked word one about the Braves yet otherwise. All right, 3 to go. They're living rent-free. Uh-oh.
Oh, who could this be?
Oh, boy.
A lot of Johns in the world.
I didn't know this. Oh, no. John Sterling passed away.
No way.
Former Braves announcer, longtime radio voice of the Yankees. The Yankees win. I did not know.
I never knew this guy was a broadcaster for the Yankees, huh?
87 years. I didn't love him.
Yeah.
I didn't love him when he was with the Braves. He retired a few years back, but I am sorry to hear of his passing. Yeah.
Barry, all those baseball games I've listened to on radio over my lifetime. No.
Okay. All right. So there we go. That's 3 Braves references.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned he had worked for the Braves. I would have known that. I would not have known that. Brought that up.
Yeah. Never. He was not my favorite. I will.
He was no Joe Simpson and Pete Van Wieren.
No, Ernie Johnson. All right, here we go. Keep it up. 2-2.
2 to go. Blue and red. Those are the colors left. Where is he going to land? It is
messing around. Is this JD practice in the early 1980s?
This is after a game.
Okay. I like Wiley Ballard. He's the Georgia Sportscaster of the Year last year. Also does Georgia Tech stuff. What's Acuna doing? What's he doing? This is Ozzie Albies' glove.
See, they're not focused. Yeah, they're kidding around.
Oh, he's putting dirt in his glove. Now watch Ozzie. There's Ozzie.
Late August.
He says, hey, who did that?
That's
and he knows who did it. He knows who did it.
Late August, early September, this kind of stuff's going to come back to bite them.
We actually do have a Braves thing. Yeah, he knows who it was.
Here's what you're going to hear from me. Hey, Barry, remember back in early May when the Braves were grab-assing and thought they were great? Look at them now. Here it comes.
John was the king of it back in the day. John, more than anybody else, somebody would say, who's doing all that grab? And everybody would look at it. Had to be Longshore. Now, all of a sudden, here he is, grown, kids off on their own, and he said, "Oh, this is going to come back." Man, you in the day, that was your
That could
thing.
be true, but I'm just telling you from experience. Don't do it.
One
do as
more.
I say, not as I did.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
One
That's what
more
I
to
tell
go.
my kids. Look, you guys think you're getting one over on me, but I guarantee you, if I hadn't done it, I mean, he says, I guarantee you, whatever you do, I've either heard about it or I've done it. So don't think you're going to get over on me. All right, chasing
One
it.
more to go. Yep.
This may be Spinnaker or a couple of
this
couple
was
of
after
here.
game too. Man, no kidding. Wow.
Chasing it.
Chasing it.
Oh,
Chase
yeah, Chase Elliott,
Yeah,
Wild Bill from
this guy.
Dawsonville's grandson or something. I don't know. This was in Fort Worth.
Yep. Little NASCAR.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin. Is Denny Hamlin? I thought Denny Hamlin was.
Is he still
Anyway.
with us? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was retired. Alex Bowman. They had the restart. He has now won twice.
Man.
And his teammate was a good teammate. Alex Bowman gave him a push, and he was able to get in. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never figured out this teammate stuff in NASCAR.
Yeah,
I don't
you got to,
know what
you
this guy
block
did.
somebody off for your teammate. That's like Cal and Ricky Bobby, shake and bake. It's every man for himself down
I'm
there.
with you. I mean, come on. I don't want this other guy
All
getting
right.
all the notoriety, even though he's on my team. Hey, great stuff today. Really appreciate everybody checking in and checking us out. Hey, you can still check us out anytime you want to. That's the beauty of this platform. You go back and watch and listen when it's convenient for you. Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, iTunes, Spotify. Check it all out. Buy, sell, and hold today. Hope you enjoy that as well. Tomorrow, we have got Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, Travis Ryer on YouTube, amongst a lot of other good stuff will be happening on the
Plenty to do for sure. Glad you're with us. Our live show is over. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.